Hi, this is Kelly, and I wanted to clarify a few things. So occasionally I'll have people send me messages from my YouTube, and they'll say things like it must be nice to be, supported, or to have a sugar daddy, or to have parents who pay for my lifestyle. And it infuriates me, actually. So, a little bit about myself and how I was raised. I'm the youngest of three children. I have two older brothers, and I was taught to be independent. My parents wouldn't even allow me to have my first vehicle until I was a junior in college, even though I had money before I was 16 to buy a vehicle. And my parents, and especially my dad, wouldn't co-sign for that either. So he taught me early on to be financially independent. And I never had handouts, I never had things given to me. I've worked hard for everything I've gotten. I'm not a spoiled brat. I've had all kinds of weird comments over the years, but in particular, as of late, I'm here in Montana working on my cabin. I purchased this with my own money, and I paid cash for it from my years as working as a conservation officer. I had a great job. Before that, I was a state trooper. Before that, I was a Saginaw Chippewa Tribal Police Department officer. Before that, I was a St. Louis Police Department part-time officer right out of college. Before that, I was a Marine deputy for Midland County Sheriff Department. And before that, I was a Lincoln Township firefighter / EMS. And I started that the day I turned 18. I've actually been working since I was 5 years old. Actually, by the time I was 5, I actually had enough money to buy a trampoline with my own money. I'm not talking birthday money here. I actually started working before that. I picked night crawlers from golf courses, and I sold them to my uncle who owned a sport shop for live bait. I mowed lawns. I mowed lawns my whole young upbringing. I had my own lawn mowing route at 12 years old, all summer long. My dad would take me to my route before he went to work in the summer, and I would push my lawnmower from one place to another, and one place I even had to push with the old-fashioned cutter, which I really liked. So I had a multitude of jobs. My grandparents on my paternal side had multiple rental units, and my dad and I had the contract of maintaining them and also doing all of the landscaping and all of the lawn mowing weekly. So on the weekends, my dad and I would work together doing that, raking lawns. And I'm not talking an average size lawn. They might have 15 or 20 acres to mow for a fourplex or a duplex or something like that. So there was multiple units, and I was always taught a hard work ethic, and I saved my own money. My parents gave me $50 for school clothes a year, and I supplemented that by all of the jobs that I had. I worked for a farmer hoeing beans when I was 12 years old, and that was probably some of the hardest work I ever did. Didn't even have work boots, so I wore tennis shoes, and I hated that because the field sand would get in my shoes. So I would actually often take off my shoes in the early morning before it got too hot, and later on it would burn my feet. So I'm not spoiled. I'm self-made. I lost my job because the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service made me resign as part of my plea for killing a wolf in self-defense while hunting white-tailed deer in Western Ontario. I paid dearly for that. My attorney fees were $25,000 out of my 401k, and the feds kind of tricked me because they had me sign a confession, and the deal was that I wouldn't lose my job. And then, of course, when I signed the confession that I shot this wolf in self-defense and then later bought a tag, which was actually illegal, they then said, oh, by the way, we're going to make you resign and make an example out of you. So I accept responsibility for what I did, and I took the penalty, I think, with class, and I learned from my mistake. It wasn't self-defense, and I passed the polygraph, but they basically said that it didn't matter because it was black and white. You can't buy the license after the fact, and I did so. erroneously with the idea that then the animal wouldn't go to waste and that I could actually tan it myself and have it to show my child or grandchild and my family in perpetuity. So anyways, after that, I had multiple different jobs. I had to start a new career path. I chose to. I had law enforcement job offers right away, but I wanted to break from that for a while to reevaluate what had happened and reevaluate myself and learn from the experience. And I wanted to reinvent myself, so I moved to Alaska and became a hard rock underground gold miner. And then I had the opportunity to leave to go to Africa for Naked and Afraid, so I had to quit my job because I didn't have enough time off for the 21-day challenge. And then when I returned, I couldn't go back into mining right away because I was injured for 2 months and had to lay on my stomach. So after I healed, I decided to go back into guiding, which I had owned my own side business for 8 years, guiding in Michigan. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years, along with many, many other things, including painting houses and doing remodeling and lawn care and just about anything I can possibly do to make a living. So I am still kind of a starving artist in a sense because I'm still chasing a dream of hosting my own survival show at some point. So to do that, I basically make do with what I can. I am trying to better myself this year. I'm not sure how much I made this summer, but I'm guessing it might be around $10,000. And so now I have all this bear damage, and I'm not saying this because, I want any kind of handouts or anything like that. I'm saying this because I get so frustrated with people acting like that this way of life for me is privileged. And I'm a hard worker. I split my own wood. I cut my own wood. I fix my own problems whenever I can. Although I don't turn down help, I'll guarantee that. But I'm here now dedicated to cleaning up this bear mess, and I have a good attitude about it. And so I just appreciate your support. And if you have something negative to say, like calling me a prima donna or something, please do that elsewhere. Or if you do, I'll probably either ignore it or let you have it, one of the two, because that's one thing I'm not. So thank you guys, and thank you gals out there, and I hope you're chasing your dreams today, and don't let anyone ever stand in your way.